Happy Friday, good evening. Uh, I don't even know how to begin. Okay. This week in the news, it's really wild, right? Okay. So, there was this incident in Minneapolis, right? And an African American gentleman passed away, and the police officer was charged with murder, third degree murder. Okay, so more like manslaughter, right? In other states, different states call it differently. So in Minnesota, I guess they call it third degree murder slash manslaughter. Okay. Uh, I have to disagree with that. Okay, that decision because uh, they made that decision after the riot and looting and all these protests. Okay, so what it appears to me at least is this. Okay, it's judiciary, right? Prosecutor's office. It's being influenced by the protests. Okay, so um, that's not how democracy is supposed to run. All right, I mean, especially judiciary. All right, prosecution is part of the legal system, right? Judiciary. Government has three branches. American government. You have legislature, and then you have executive, and you have judiciary, right? Judiciary has to do with the courts, and judiciary is supposed to be independent of politics, right? That's why federal judges they have this lifetime tenure, right? Um, but what we see here in America in this year 2020 is that prosecution, this criminal charge against police officer, is happening because people are demanding it. All right. So then maybe it's very much democratic because they are doing what people want. Well, if it had been done by due process, right? Maybe some petition, right? Write a letter, get a lot of signature, right? Yeah, petition to the governor's office or prosecutor's office. You have amicus curiae, right? If it had been done in those legitimate way, more civilized fashion, then that's fine, right? You can convince prosecutor's office so that the police officers are charged, but that's not how it was done. It was done by protest, many times riot, property damage, looting, violence, arson. They are all criminal acts. It's theft, arson, property damage, burglary. Those are felonies. And that's what these rioters are doing. Setting police station into fire in Minnesota. That's felony. Alright? Or looting, breaking into windows of some business properties and getting in there and steal things from those stores. Those are burglary. and theft. Okay, they are felonies, they're crimes. And yes, it's mobocracy. It's not democracy. It's mobocracy, ruled by mobs. So prosecutor's office in Minnesota, I guess they got some political pressure and they decided to charge the police officers with murder. That's I have to disagree with that. Okay. Yeah. It's quite surprising. America is supposed to be the best country, most civilized country in the world ever. But look what's happening in 2020 in America, right? Uh, it's sad, right? Yeah. If this kind of riot happens in third world countries, developing countries, we would understand. But if it's happening in America, supposedly the best country in the world, then what does it say about the rest of the world? Huh? So yeah, we have a long way to go. Okay, so we have a long way to go as a country, as a society, civilized society. Okay, so those weaknesses of America, it's been always there, right? It's been sleeping, latent. Now, this incident in Minneapolis, Minnesota, exposed that weakness that's been lurking beneath the topsoil, beneath the surface of American society. All right, so there is criminal trial against police officers, right? And there, yeah, defense attorneys, criminal defense attorneys, right? They could be public defenders or some private sector, right? So, everybody loves doctors, but lawyers are not as popular as doctors. Why? Because lawyers, we take sides, right? Plaintiff, defendant, or prosecutor, defense attorney, right? Criminal defense, prosecutor. So yeah, that's lawyer's job. A judge's job, well, judges they are former lawyers, right? But judges they're kind of neutral, that they're supposed to be, right? And jurors, yeah, neutral, but supposed to be. But lawyers, our job is to be biased toward our clients. To be biased is our job. Our job is not about neutrality. Our job is to be one-sided. Yeah, zealous representation of your client. That's lawyer's job. We are advocates. We are not neutral people. Okay, so we have to take sides. That's why people don't like lawyers very much. Yeah, because I was wondering, okay, and I asked questions when I was in law school to professors, right? And they did answer me. So, ah, boy. We are talk about some law, okay, law, because it's kind of important topic, right? Uh, and yes, because there will be criminal trial against those police officers involved in this incident. Okay, so we're gonna make some legal analysis of that. Okay, yeah. We all sad the African American gentleman passed away. Yeah, of course, we are all sad, right? But at the same time, uh, perhaps we can take this opportunity to learn about law and American judicial system and also American politics and the interaction there between. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Okay, all right. We're gonna take like 5 to 10 minutes break, okay? Because I saw some dandelions out there. Okay, so I'm gonna pick some and put in the vodka. Okay, it will take like 10 minutes break. Okay. So, all right. All right. Okay, I got some dandelion flowers. It's not just lion, it's dandy. Handy dandy. Dandy doesn't that mean like fashionable? So yeah, fashionable lion, dandelion. All right, they're edible. The whole parts, including the root, is edible. Okay, so uh, yeah. On a lighter note, okay, because we're gonna talk about some serious subject here. All right. Yeah. We're gonna talk about something very serious. Okay, so. Okay. Yeah, let's get to it after I'm done pouring vodka into this. Okay, so I hope you had a nice week. Okay, so many horrible things are going on nowadays, so it's not doesn't even sound appropriate to say Happy Friday. Okay, because so many people are unhappy about coronavirus and this riot situation, and but yeah. Okay, let's talk about jurisprudence. Okay, justice system. All right. So criminal defense lawyers are like this. Okay, when the world is against me, when the world is against me, there's one person who would stand right beside me, and that's criminal defense lawyer. All right, or any defense lawyer, whatever. Right. If I don't have any money, maybe pro bono lawyer or public defender, right? Yeah. So, so please don't hate lawyers too much, okay? Why? You may need one day, okay? Hopefully you don't, alright? But when the world is against you, if there's one person who will stand by you no matter what, there'll be a lawyer, defense lawyer, okay? So that's why it's not right to hate lawyers, okay? Because they are mostly nice people. They're just doing their job. Given this justice system, judicial system in democratic countries, okay? Yeah. Let's see. This I saw some bumblebees. They're so cute, right? Very like plump bumblebees. So cute. Very rotund, right? They're cute because they are kind of round, right? So yeah, overweight people, oh, they're beautiful, right? Like bumblebee, for example. Bumblebee or bears, bears are cute because they are kind of obese, right? Yeah. So obese people, they're beautiful. Okay. Dandelion. Uh, it tastes somewhat cheap and even trashy. Okay, dandelions. That's just how they taste, right? So when I was picking these flowers, my fingers got very sticky because it got so much honey in there, nectar. But tis the season. It's good, right? So let me sit a little bit closer because I don't want to raise my voice. Okay, so um, all right. Let's just generalize because this kind of incident have happened before, right? Police officers trying to arrest somebody and that somebody dies, Yeah, it happens once in a while, right? It does. Okay. Let's not talk about races. Okay, we are not talking about races. Okay. Beside races, we'll talk about races later. Okay. Because there's a little bit more difficult subject to talk about, right? We'll just talk about law, right? So, in big cities nowadays, police officers are in hot seat, right? All these protesters, they're picking on police officers, okay? So, come on, right? So, I rather play defense attorney for police officers, okay? Because they are kind of cornered these days, all right? Yeah. And they're great people, you know? So, let's start with qualified immunity doctrine. Okay, I looked it up. Yeah, the qualified immunity doctrine is quite broad. One specific application is about police officers. Okay, so basically it says police officers they're immune from tort, civil lawsuit, or personal injury or wrongful death. Okay, is very protective of police officers. That's qualified immunity doctrine. Okay, so to overcome that doctrine is quite high bar. All right, so yeah, so it's not easy to find a police officer liable. All right, well, typically they sue the city or state, the employer of police officers. Why? Because they have deeper pocket. Okay, and also there's this doctrine called respondeat superior, meaning the superior of these employees, they are the one who are who respond, who are responsible for their employees' uh, tort. What is tort? Wrongdoing or some negligence, mistake, by which, via which, some there's some personal injuries or property damages. Okay, so yeah, you sue the employer basically. Okay, as long as the employee commit this tort, wrongdoing in the line of job duty. Okay, so yeah, they typically sue the city, state, government, federal government, whatever this officers belong to. Okay, peace officers belong to. So qualified immunity doctrine is this. Okay, so basically police officers they get some immunity from lawsuits. Okay, the reason behind that is that we want, as a society, we want police officers to do their job effectively, and but if we start punishing police officers because as they arrest people, somebody get injured. If we punish police officers for that, it will have chilling effect. So police officers will hesitate to arrest people. So police officers' effectiveness will decrease, right? So that's the origin of rationale behind qualified immunity doctrine. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the law, okay? It's not just criminal law, okay? It's also tort law as well. Okay? Tort is civil wrongdoing, right? Like personal injury, like battery, assault, you have trespass, and you have property damage, right? And you have wrongful death. Okay, there's a civil side. On the criminal side, yeah, property damage, death, like homicide, murder, battery, criminal battery, all that stuff. Or In civil side, you also have something like false imprisonment, something like that, right? Yeah. Criminal side, yeah, kidnapping, right? Yeah. So tort side, the civil side, and criminal side is kind of like mirror image. Okay. Yeah. Theft in criminal side, in civil side, what's it called? It's called conversion. Okay. Yeah, conversion. So what's the difference between tort side and criminal side? Criminal side is more like heinous acts, more dangerous acts. Civil side, it's kind of gray in the middle. Like if I borrow a book from somebody and I never return the book, it's not a theft. It's conversion. So it's not a criminal act, but it's uh, actionable tort, tort of conversion. Okay, so you can sue me, but so you borrow me book and I never return it to you. You can sue me for it, right? Like rep levy in action back in the days, right? But most likely, if you call the police, probably they will not respond, and you call the prosecutor's office, probably they will not press me charge of theft. Okay, because it was consent based. Yeah, you borrowed me book, and I kept it. I refused to return it to you. It's not a theft, but it's a tort of conversion. All right, you can sue me in civil court, and if you win the trial, then I'm ordered to return this book to you. Otherwise, then I can go to jail. Why? Contempt of court order. That then I can go to jail. Okay, so that's how judicial system works in westernized countries. Okay, all right. Now it starts giving out the juice. Okay, this dandelion. I like it. I can taste the nectar, honey, sugar in there. Oh, it's good. So qualified immunity. Okay, we don't want police officers to be afraid of punishment in case somebody get injured during arrest. All right. So that's qualified immunity doctrines rational. So that's why police officers get immunity. Right. They get some special protection from law. Right. When it comes to causing some injuries to people when they try to arrest or when they try to protect other people. Okay, so that's qualified immunity doctrine. Okay, so yeah. I mean, to be fair, are there some abuse? There could have been. Like good cops, bad cops, right? And there are people, cops. Just like in general population, 10% of, maybe 1% of people are bad, right? In police squad, police population, I'm pretty sure, yeah, over 1% of people are not as good, right? Yeah, people are people, right? Yeah. All right, let's take 5 minutes. Okay? I need to save my voice. Okay, so we'll take it nice and slow. Okay. Yeah, because it's kind of heavy topic, right? And serious topic. So yeah, let's take it just nice and easy. Okay. To strike some balance between the heaviness of the topic and some occasional breaks, right? Easy pace, light-hearted, spend time spending. All right, let's take 5. Okay. Okay. So, uh, so we cover community. I mean, the qualified immunity, right? Okay. Next. Let's see. Okay. The degree of force, right? Police officers they are trying to use the minimal force necessary. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's in their books, regulations and ethical codes and yeah, minimal force necessary, no excessive force, right? I'm sure that they get trained for that, right? Because when I was in the U.S. Army, right? Yeah, we were deployed to Afghanistan, okay, potentially a war zone. So I'm a combat veteran. Okay? I have combat badge, okay, because I deployed to combat zone. But I was lucky. We never got mortar bomb attack. I never got outside the base, right? Yeah, I stayed inside the base the whole time. But yeah, we were trained this ethics code. Okay, you are not supposed to shoot an enemy when this enemy doesn't not have any weapon, for example, something like that. Okay, and yeah, so there are all those things. Okay, ethics code. Okay, so because America, at least on the books, is supposed to be civilized nation. Okay, so yeah, like you cannot just torture prisoner of war. All right, that's illegal, right? Yeah, I mean, this President Trump he gave a lot of immunity, presidential pardon to American soldiers who are accused of those illegal activity, but oh well, that's President Trump. Okay, so yeah, and soldiers, we are not supposed to shoot at civilians, even if it's a war zone. Civilians without any weapon, right? Oh no, that's murder. Okay, so yeah, there are those all those ethics code. Okay, so I'm pretty sure police officers has something very similar to that. Okay, so to calculate the right amount of force necessary to arrest somebody, that's not an easy calculation because people are unpredictable. Okay, um, have you watched the movie RoboCop? Robot RoboCop back in 1980s, I think. I did watch it. Okay, back in the days, kind of sci-fi, right? So hypothetically, we can come up with, I mean, in sci-fi fiction, right? Let's say this robot, like in Terminator movie, right? This robot with computer brain, right? Eyes, computer eyes. So this robot is a police officer, okay? And he sees somebody accused of committing a crime, so he come to the this crime scene, and this robot try to arrest this person and make some calculation, okay, like height, weight, and musculature, and to calculate the exact amount of force necessary to arrest this person. Okay. Yeah, you can come up with some algorithm in sci-fi, science fiction, right? Come up with some algorithm based on statistics, okay? We're not talking about race, okay? Talking about body weight, muscle, musculature and height, okay, or speed of this person's movement, right? Yeah, based on statistics, yeah, amount of force necessary is like 100 Newton, for example, or 1000 Newton, or 10 Newton, whatever, right? Based on statistics, right? Yeah, you can come up with some algorithm like that, right? But we don't have such a RoboCop with us. Okay, so police officers, they have to make judgment call based on their experience. Okay. Yeah. So that's what these police officers do, right? So can we blame them for making miscalculation? But mathematical speaking, okay, or physics, science, right? There is no such an object whose weight is exactly 10 pounds. It's always 10.00012315003 pounds or 99.99235052 pounds. There's no such a thing as exact 10 pounds. Alright? I mean, you can make some kind of standard. Yeah, let's come up with this weight, and by definition, this object is exactly 1 pound. Yeah, scientists they used to do that back in the days, right? Yeah. Maybe they still do nowadays. I don't know. I left the science community a long time ago, so I don't know. Okay. So, yeah. So even if this exact object is exactly by definition 1 pound, okay, all the other objects, okay, they're 1.00001 pound or 99 or 9 or 0.9999 pound, okay, it's never exactly 1 pound. No two objects have exactly equal weight or mass. That's impossible. Or equal size. Alright? That's just impossible. Mathematically, scientifically, logically. Okay? Because you can always divide, right? You have some object, you can always divide by half, so it goes on forever. Ad infinitum. Alright? So. Okay? So, given that mathematical knowledge, right? Scientific, logical knowledge, philosophical knowledge, exact amount of minimum, the minimum exact amount of force to arrest this person, nobody can do it. It's either under force or over force. By slight amount. Slightly less than the minimum necessary or slightly over the minimum necessary. Why? Because that's just how this world is. I just told you. Logically, mathematically, that's how it is. Okay? You cannot never be exact. Okay? That's probabilistically impossible. Alright? And we humans we are not gods, we are not computers. Okay? So and police officers, okay, their job is to arrest potential criminals who jeopardize peace. Police officers' job is to protect our lives and our properties. Okay, so perhaps from their caring mindset, they care about us. They want to do their job, right? Police officers. Maybe they tend to err on the safer side. So maybe they tend to use more force than necessary to ensure arrest, to ensure our safety. Maybe they tend to err on the safer side. So maybe they tend to use more force than necessary. Okay, I'm just guessing, but it's kind of understandable line of thinking, right? If not agreeable, okay, but it's still understandable, right? Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm defending police officers in general, not just this Minnesota accident, but officers in general. Okay, because I really appreciate what they do. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, right? We are sad. People died. Of course, we are sad, right? But we should not let our emotion cloud our judgment, right? Because there are a lot of protests going on, right, against police brutality and even racism. I think that's, to me, it seems to be group thinking, group think, all right, like idolatry. Okay. Uh, I don't think they're thinking clearly, right? So they just react emotionally based on emotion. Okay. I mean, sad. People died, right? It's so sad, but instead of resorting to this emotion of anger, let's analyze this, right? And try to understand what happened. Okay? Yeah. I think we covered enough topics, enough issues. I think we got our basics covered in the legal side. Now let's talk about political side of this issue, right? So after 5 minutes, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of full. I ate sandwich before recording this, so no more room for vodka. My stomach is so full. Ah. We'll take 5 minutes, okay? All right. Okay, we're back. Hmm. I like to drink some beer. Okay. So, let's take a break from all this discussion. It's too heavy, right? Let's talk about something light as entertainment. Okay, industry. So director John Chu, he's like Taiwanese, Chinese American, something like that. Yeah, he married this Caucasian lady. I don't like that marriage. Okay, but his name is not to be confused with actor John Cho. He's Korean American actor, and he married a Korean girl, and I like him. Okay, so okay. But director John Chu, he married this young Caucasian lady, very beautiful lady, and that's ultra internationalistic, so I don't like him. Okay, so but that's as a side. All right, let's get back to this main topic. So political side. Okay, you know this Colin what a Kaepernick, this football star. He's kind of like a brown, I guess. I don't know what race he is, but he's brown. Football star who knelt down on the ground when the national anthem was playing. I guess he was protesting against election of President Trump, I guess. So his point, I guess, President Trump is racist. Uh, well, he may as well be. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But the but I don't think racism exists anymore in America. To be honest with you, I have been living in this country more than half of my life, more than 2 decades. Okay, so you can kind of guess what my age is. Yeah, I'm 41, right? I mean, racial jokes, yeah, they are there, but it's just a joke, okay? Racial jokes, I do it sometimes. It's no big deal. It's supposed to laugh. It's just a joke, right? But racism, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen real racism, racial discrimination. I haven't seen one. Racial jokes, yes, but racism, not really. Okay. Racial discrimination, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. But people like this Kaepernick, whatever, okay, they strongly believe America is very much racist still. Maybe they want racism to exist in America so that they can complain about it. Huh? Yeah, this Kaepernick, whatever, this football star kneeling down when national anthem is playing. Not my cup of tea, okay? Yeah. I mean, it's freedom of speech. I get it. Alright? But, yeah. I think they are wrong. Okay? So. Black Lives Matter movement, okay, activism, I appreciate it, okay? Because they were brave enough to interrupt this, what this mayor turned presidential candidate, what Buttigieg or something. yeah, Black Lives Matters. They interrupted his speech because for whatever reason, right? So yeah, I kind of like Black Lives Matter activists, okay, because my enemy's enemy is my friend, right? So because this LGBT member, mayor, boutique, trying to be president, and I was like, eh, not my cup of tea, okay. So yeah, I appreciate Black Lives Matter activists, okay. I like them. Yeah, I appreciate their activism, okay. Yeah, yeah, Black Lives Matters, of course. Everybody's life matters, okay. So and they are African Americans, so they advocate for African Americans. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Because there are Asian advocacy groups too. Okay, yeah, Asians advocating for Asian Americans. Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. And there are Caucasians who advocate for Caucasians too. I appreciate that as well. Okay, yeah. To be fair and square, right? Yeah. And there are also activist group that advocate for men's right. You don't see them very often, right? But they are there. I read about them. Okay, I appreciate that too. I appreciate feminists as well. Okay, yeah, women's advocacy, sure, yeah, so cool. Freedom of association, right? So on the politics side, yeah, mostly race politics, right? So when it happens such that police officers are Caucasians and criminally accused people are African Americans, then it always make big headlines, right? But statistically speaking, I'm sure there are other combinations where Asian police officers holding Caucasian criminally accused. But we never see that on TV, on the news, right? Yeah, so why is that? Because it's the trend of this hyper pro African Americanism, right? Just like hyper pro Semitism. So Jews and African Americans, uh, for historical reasons, they are kind of being overprotected. Okay, African Americans, yeah, the back in the days in America, labor exploitation, also known as slavery, right? And Jews, yeah, Holocaust during the World War II. So quite recent memory, scars, right? So people want to maybe compensate for their ancestral injury, maybe damage, right? So now they are kind of overcompensating, overprotecting Jews and African Americans. Is that fair to say? We are conducting historical analysis to understand why it is the way it is today in American society. Why are Jews and African Americans especially protected and given perhaps more rights than others? It's because of those historical historic tragedies, slavery and Holocaust. So this compensation psychology kind of. I don't like using this word psychology because I'm not a huge fan of psychology. Okay, but compensation mentality. Okay, how about that? All right. Yeah. I'm sorry, psychology is not my cup of tea. Okay. So am I a hater? I hate so many things. Well, I hate a lot of ideologies, but I don't hate no people. All right. I do criticize celebrities. Why? Because they're big. I'm like mosquito, right? Celebrities, they're like giants. So if I take a bite, suck their blood, they won't feel a thing. Okay. So if I say something, it does not go anywhere. It stays right here. Okay, because nobody's watching this. A few friends of my friends or my family members are watching this every now and then. Um, but other than that, there's almost nobody watching this. Okay, so I'm enjoying this freedom of ignominy, unknownness. Yeah, I like it that way. Okay, because like a couple of days ago, the viewership spiked to like 10, 11, even 13. I was kind of nervous. Not nervous, but maybe a little bit afraid because if too many people are watching this, then I might get into trouble. Okay? So, I don't think I did anything wrong. It's just that I expressed my ideas, opinions, but those are not popular ones. They happen to be very unpopular ones. Why? Maybe because I'm a troublemaker, polemicist. I like challenging mainstream. That's just the way I am. Okay, so I like challenges. All right, so all right, let's take 5 minutes break. Okay, oh, boy. I'm still so full. Yeah, yeah. Let's take a break. Okay. So, Okay. So, um, the police officers they were charged with third degree murder, like manslaughter. But I think, in my opinion, okay, I think the qualified immunity doctrine should apply, and because yeah, so there will be criminal trial, right? Because they were criminally charged by prosecutor's office. We all agree it was sad, tragic incident because somebody died, right? And but we have to understand this, okay? So police officers they did what they did because in order to keep us safe, okay? They and also was it a mistake? Uh, I guess, right? And somebody died, right? So maybe they used more force than necessary, okay? But we are human beings, okay? They didn't know, police officers, they didn't know this person would die. It was not their intention, right? They just wanted to arrest this person to keep us safe, right? And they used their best judgment. But we are human beings, we err, okay? We make mistakes, misjudgment. We are not gods, we are not machines, we are not computers, right? And we don't even have that kind of equation or algorithm yet to calculate exact amount of force, if that's even possible. To calculate exact amount of force necessary, minimum amount of force necessary to arrest this particular individual, criminally accused person. We don't even have equation to calculate that or algorithm to come up with a handy dandy solution for that. All right, and we are all humans, right? So and I don't think it has anything to do with race. I'm sorry this person passed away in Minnesota. We are all sorry, of course, right? And because that person happened to be African American, so African American community are very upset. Again, we understand and we are sorry, but I have reasonable doubt in believing it was racially motivated murder. I don't think so. Why? Look, police officers, all right, they wanted to arrest this African American gentleman who's very big, very muscular, right? And I looked at his photo in the news. Looks like he's a very good fighter. Looks like he know how to fight, and he used to be a bouncer too, right? Yeah, he's very muscular, big, tall guy, right? And they say he was a gentle giant. Okay, well, but no offense, okay, but looking at his photo, facial photo, looks like he is a very strong person who know how to fight. Yeah, I mean martial artists, they can be gentle giants, right? Good martial artists who are very scary looking, oh, they could be gentle giants, right? So I'm not saying he was not a gentle giant. It's just that I don't know, and the impression that he give to people who does not know him is that he has this imposing figure, his face, his body, if not scary, perhaps formidable. If not intimidating, perhaps you can guess that he can fight very well. Good, good fighter. Maybe street fighter, martial artist, we don't know. All right, but he's big guy, a lot of muscle, and his face, yeah, looks like he knows how to fight. Okay, so that's the impression anybody can get from just looking at his photos. Okay, so police officers, they got called in because some crime happened. It's like some counterfeit money or something, whatever, right? Some people called police on him, so he's criminally accused, not charged yet. Yeah, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, right? But he's criminally charged. All right, so police officers came and they pinned him down on the ground. So I guess my guess is that he was perhaps resisting arrest, maybe, because there were several police officers working on it, right? And it was on broad daylight with a lot of pedestrians in downtown Minneapolis, or somewhere in Minneapolis, big city, right? Biggest city in Minnesota, one of the biggest cities in America or in the world during the daylight time. A lot of pedestrians were there, and they were even filming with their cell phones. Do you think police officers had intention to kill this man? I don't think so. When everybody's watching, even filming with their cell phones, do you think police officers had intention to kill this person in front of everybody, in front of the world? Because people are filming on their cell phone, right? I don't think so. That's like beyond reasonable doubt, right? Okay, it's this charge of murder on these police officers. It, it's wrong. It's nonsensical. All right. Does not make any rational sense. Then why are so many Americans rioting or demonstration or this blocking the highway, setting fire on the police station, and why are they doing this? I guess they just want to have a party because maybe they are so bored at home during this coronavirus situation, so they want to get out and gather with other people, and that would be my guess. Okay, I don't think it has anything to do with justice or racism. People just got bored, so they want to get angry so that they can get away with breaking things like windows and stealing things, arson, theft, burglary. Maybe they always wanted to do that, and now is the chance, so they just grabbed the chance and went ahead and did it. Maybe they want to be angry or pretend to be angry to get their yayas out. I think that's what's happening. Alright. That would be my guess. All those things they cause property damage, they're felonies, they're crimes. Okay. Arson, burglary, theft, they're crimes, they're felonies. Okay. They don't know what they're doing, alright? They think it's okay thing to do. Okay? I think they're pretending to be angry. I don't think they are genuinely angry, okay? We'll take 5 minutes, okay? So somehow we need to get out of this topic, okay? So let's think about that, alright? Maybe we talk just a little bit more and then we get out of this topic, okay? We gotta have some exit plan, alright? Because we don't want to reside on one issue for too long because it's counterproductive, it's waste of time, okay? So yeah. But it's kind of important issue, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get out of this topic when the time comes, but because it's such an important issue, yeah, let's keep talking about it. I'm sorry. We gotta do our job, right? Yeah. This is our assignment. Okay? This problem we need to solve it, right? Yeah. It's God's assignment for us. We are problem solvers. That's our job. So, in America, African Americans, yeah, they inherited poverty, okay? Because so back in the days in 1600s, 1700s, yeah, there this was known as slavery, right? Forced labor. But you have to understand this. Do you really want to go to work every morning, Monday to Friday? All labor is forced labor, okay? We go to work because we want to eat, we want to survive, right? It's basic instinct as an animal, right? Even plants want to survive and thrive and reproduce, right? So it's like biological instinct, basic instinct. We want to eat, survive, right? So we go to work even though we rather just sleep in, call in, right? Uh, but we go to work because we want to survive, right? Some people would rather commit crimes still as opposed to work. Some people, some others, they want to beg on the street as opposed to going to work. But they all want to survive. So most of us, we go to work. Despite we rather just stay home, sleep long, enjoy the morning sleep, right? We rather do that, but because we want to survive and we don't want to steal, we don't want to beg, we go to work. Forced labor, that's everybody who works. Okay? There's no such a thing as voluntary labor. Yeah, there's voluntarism, right? But they do so in order to satisfy their moral conscience. And it's admirable act, right? Voluntarism, yeah. But they want to satisfy their moral conscience. They want to find some happiness by helping others, right? And that's great. This humanology series is also voluntarism. I don't have to do this. But mostly I do this in order to enjoy, in order to be happy, okay? Because we deal with a lot of intellectually challenging problems, right? And I enjoy that. That's the main reason I do it. My main reason of doing this human knowledge series for free, it's not about money. It's not about, well, helping others. Yeah, but mostly it's to satisfy myself because I really enjoy doing this. Okay, that's why I keep doing this, although nobody's watching. I mean, there are some people, right? If I never met you and you are here, thank you, thank you. Okay. If you're Google YouTube examiners, well, thank you too. Okay, I think you guys are cool. Okay, so all right, you have my friends and families, thank you too. Okay, everybody is welcome here. All right. Anyways, so let's take a note that every labor is involuntary. I mean, most labor that make money, it's not as fun as our hobbies. Like what I do here is my hobby. I enjoy doing this, but it does not make any money. Okay? Yeah, but the kind of labor that actually generates income, uh, they are not as fun as hobbies. Right? Yeah, so money making labor is always, 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 always involuntary labor. It is slavery. Alright, it's human condition. Okay. Let's take a note of that because it's important. Alright. So back in the days, yeah, there's I mean it's sad chapter of Western history. It's not yeah, well, in the East, Anywhere else, this servitude, bonded servitude, okay, master and servant, right? Indentured servants. You're born as servant, then you are a servant for life, and your children will be servants as well, right? It's this kind of caste system, right? The fixed hierarchy. You have nobles, and then you have lower class, and there's no class mobility, upward class mobility, right? Back in the days, anywhere in the world, in the East, West, Middle East, anywhere, everywhere. It used to be like that, right? But humanity, they grew out of that, like in 1900s, perhaps 1800s. Okay, so if you study hard in school or work hard outside of school, whatever, okay, then you can make a lot of money and you can belong to higher class upward class mobility. The sociologists talk about, right? Yeah, that's a valid concept in sociology, political science, right? Yeah. So, uh, but in 1600s, 1700s, okay, the yeah, white people, okay, Europeans, they came to Africa, okay, and some Africans engaged in the slave trade. Okay, so some Africans with a lot of powers, they sold their neighbors, poor Africans, to white people. Okay, so it's not always about white people engaging in slave trade. No, some black people, they also engaged in that too. Not many people talk about this, do they? Well, it's a historical fact. Okay, you have African nations, right? So white people, Europe, they come to Africa, colonize African countries, and they don't speak the language. Back in the days, how many European colonists in Africa, how many of them do you think spoke like African languages like Swahili or other languages? Right? So they had translators, right? So, and who do they buy these African American slaves from? African Africans. So European white Caucasian colonists in Africa, who do they buy these African slaves from? Africans. Okay? So they were selling their own people to make money. Okay? We are making rational, objective observation, right? Aside politics, racism, please forget about all this emotional stuff, okay? Be objective, okay? So, yeah, that's what happened, okay? So, because European empire, all right, this Caucasians in 1600s, 1500s, right? They are expanding, so and they are conquering other parts of the world, like British Empire, for example, the empire where the sun never sets because they have colonies, India, South America, I mean South Africa, India, Australia, Hong Kong, like China, part of China, part of Japan too. I don't know. Okay, and America, South America, all around the world. Yeah, Europeans, they made colonies. They conquered, like back in the days, like Portugal, Spain, right? Yeah, conquistador, right? Yeah, they colonized also Britain, right? Uh, Even I think Netherlands as well, right? Even Denmark. Yeah, they're like they're conquering different parts of the world, right? So yeah, it's business expansion. They need a lot of labor, like agriculture, whatever, right? So they need more manpower. Okay, so they imported labor force from Africa, over places. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's close proximity and Africans back in the days, uh, their industrialization in terms of like military power, I guess, was inferior to European military. So it's easy to conquer, and also Africans, they're very muscular, athletic, right? They're strong people, physically, right? And also militarily inferior. They don't have like cannons and guns, right? But Europeans, they have that, right? They had that. So we're talking about 1500s, 1600s, 1700s. Okay, so and it was not too far away from Europe. It's just right there, Africa, right? I guess that's why they conquered Africa and brought in a lot of African labor force. Okay, and yeah, there's some cruelty. Okay, slavery, cruelty, and exploitation. Basically, kind of like less than minimum wage, right? Exploitation, labor exploitation, right? Not a fair wage, but unfair wage. They so these laborers, African laborers, work very hard, but they didn't get paid very well. I mean, they got their food and shelter because these colonists, they need them alive, right? But some inhumane treatment, like whip, cracker, right? Yeah. Again, it's sad chapter in the human Western history, right? We are sorry it happened the way it happened, right? Yeah, of course we are sorry. We'll take 5 minutes, okay? We're dealing with Western history, okay? So because we need to get to the bottom of this, right? Yeah, so we're dealing with Western history, okay? Uh, so let's take a break from all these history lessons. You know, I mean, we're taking break from this particular context of history, like Dead Sea Scroll, okay, in Israel, this Middle East region, it got discovered later on, right? And also in the Bible, Old Testament itself, there was some words, prophecy of God that got discovered. So people realized their sinful acts and they repented. It's in Old Testament somewhere, okay? I remember reading it, all right, a long time ago. How long ago? About 2 decades ago. All right, so I have a very good memory. Okay, so maybe one day this humanology series will be discovered and people start to repent. Maybe I'm just musing. All right, okay, okay. Let's get back to history. Okay, so because every dog has his day, right? But it may happen during my lifetime or not. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, so yeah, I'm just enjoy doing this. Okay, so now Western history. Where were we? So imperial expansion, a lot of labor needed. But before that, Caucasians used to be barbaric. They used to be barbarians. They had some of their cool stuff like ship of this Nordic Viking ship, very advanced technology, right? But compared to Middle East, like Italy, Rome, Roman Empire, Greek, Egypt, Israel, uh, Persia, right? Middle East, they are the Western civilization, right? They're brown people, okay? But up north, white people, Europeans, they used to be relatively uncivilized, uncivilized, like vandals, vandalism, right? But yeah, they are the one who destroyed Roman Empire and starting the Dark Age. Because Rome was the light of the Western world. They put off this, extinguished this Roman Empire, the light of the Western world, Western Hemisphere. Okay, Asian history, that's different story. Okay, it's China and India. Okay, they were the lights of the Eastern world. Okay, Korea, Japan, they learned from China. China, they learned from India. Okay, so and where China they have their own stuff, but they learned a lot from India. Okay. Anyways, so the reason why these Caucasian Europeans managed to conquer the world is because they learned from brown people, brown Middle Easterns, like Egyptians, Israelite, Jewish, Persians, Middle East, like Greeks, Romans, like Italians. Okay, yeah, white people they learned from brown people, and they excelled in science, mathematics, and engineering. But all those science, mathematics, engineering, they started from Middle East, Egypt, Rome, Greeks, Persians, Arabs. That's where mathematics, science, engineering started from. And white people they just learned it. Then they were able to conquer the world. Okay. Just the knowledge. Yeah. Francis Bacon was correct. Knowledge is the power. Knowledge is power. Right. Education. Right. Africans they're great in music and dancing. All right, they are very artistically talented people, Africans, and also they are very athletically uh, endowed people, athletically strong people. It's in their genes. Okay, look all the sports. Yeah, Africans they always excel in basketball, baseball, football, boxing. They are mostly African Americans, right? Because they are athletically strong people. It's their talent. Yeah, God given talent. Also, they are very musically talented and great sense of humor, Africans, okay? And fantastic music, dancing, very sophisticated dancing style, music, like percussion and they're singing, right? Yeah, dancing and music. It's temporal art, right? Africans, they're the best, right? Music and dancing, right? In terms of martial art, yeah, that's Asians, they're the best, right? Like Chinese, Korean, Japanese, right? Yeah, martial arts is mostly from Asia, right? Caucasians, what's their talent? They are beautiful. They have blonde hair, white skin, blue eyes, green eyes, red hair, pink skin. They are very aesthetically talented people. They just look good, right? So that's the talent of white people. Okay, let's appreciate all different races. That's the whole point. Okay, different races have different sets of talents. Okay, Arabs, Middle Easterners, they are great in fine art, architecture, painting, right? They are the best. Fine art, special art, architecture, painting, sculpture. Okay, nobody is better than Middle Easterns. Like we're talking about Italy, Greeks, uh, Arabs, right? How about Jews? Well, Jews are good at, I guess, religion, like Christianity, Bible, right? Yeah, Judaism, right? Yeah. How about Indians? Well, they're good at philosophy, I guess, right? Yeah. How about natives? Oh, they are great survivors. They're great at hunting, trapping, knowledge of nature, knowledge of plants, animals, right? Yeah. And also fantastic arts, crafts, music, dancing. Yeah. Really beautiful. But no tattoos, no piercings, no marijuana. Those are bad. At least in the eyes of this particular version of humanology. Okay. Tattoos, piercings, marijuana, they're destructive. Okay, so we object to those ideologies. We don't care how many years, centuries long history it may have, we reject them. Tattoos, piercings, marijuana, we reject them. Okay. Okay. So nowadays, so many white people, they maybe they feel sorry about being white, so they darken their skin by tattoos, piercings, and tanning. I don't like what they're doing. Okay, they should be proud of their own race. Everybody should be proud of their own race, even mixed race. Oh, they're beautiful, and they should be proud of their mixed race. Yeah, everybody should be proud of their ancestry, their race, right? They should be. Oh yeah, Hispanics. They're good at partnership dancing, right? And also music, dancing, partnership dancing especially. Tango, merengue, salsa. It's all from Latin America, right? Yeah, bachata, right? All that stuff. Of course, swing. That's uniquely most like a Caucasian American, right? Swing, yeah, it's very fancy, very cool dancing style, partnership dancing style, right? Yeah, very athletic, a lot of jumping, and yeah, swing is cool. I don't know how to dance swing. No. That's way over me. Okay, yeah, I do solo dancing. Okay, I mean I'm not good at dancing, but I love doing it. Right? Just like martial art, I'm not good at it. I just love doing it. Right? But some kind and generous gentleman, okay, said I can dance better than I can sing. Okay, okay. Oh well, thank you. I try. When it comes to singing, I mean, nowadays I used to sing better than I do nowadays because I used to sing a lot. But nowadays, this humanology series it consumes my vocal energy, vocal copium. So I hardly find any time to sing. But sometimes here I sing, right? Yeah. I used to sing a lot, okay, and sing better than nowadays. But nowadays, I just talk too much, right? Yeah. We'll take 5 minutes break and we'll get back to history, Western history, okay? Why? We need to understand income disparity between blacks and whites in America, okay? We get to the bottom of this. We, it's a problem, yeah. To solve this problem, we need to understand the problem, and then, only then, we can come up with a solution. Okay? We love African Americans. I love African Americans. Okay, let's help them out, right? Yeah. Okay. We'll take 5 minutes. Okay, so we love everybody. Okay, so yeah. Okay, we gotta fast forward a little bit. Okay, let's make long story short. All right. So, African Americans, okay, they came to America as labor, very unfair pay that some people call slavery. All right, it's basically unfair pay, all right, labor exploitation. Okay, but it was not just Africans, right? Back in the days in Europe, white people exploited white labor in factories. Even children used to work back in 1800s, early 1900s. Yeah, child labor was very common and it was legal. It was not illegal, it was legal. Child labor, okay? Maybe it wasn't too bad an idea. Okay, I don't know, okay? But yeah, labor exploitation, it has nothing to do with race. All right? Then what happened? What caused it? Labor exploitation? Yeah, inheritance. Okay? Yeah, some people are born rich, like President Trump. Okay? Some people are born rich. So they inherit the wealth, like President Trump did. Okay? And they build a company or inherit a company. And they hire people, right? And they underpay them. Okay? Labor exploitation. It happened before, and perhaps it's still happening, right? Uh, that's a whole other subject. Okay, so let's just stay focused in this topic. All right. Income inequality between blacks and whites in America. Okay, so we'll talk about it. That's our main focus here. So Africans, okay, they first entered this country, America, as involuntary labor force. Okay, because I don't like using this term slavery because we are all slaves. All money making labor is involuntary. All right, so but yeah, they were underpaid, African Americans, right? And white people got rich, wealthy, out of labor of underpaid African Americans back in the days, right? It's just historical facts, okay? And African Americans, they inherited poverty from their ancestors, and Caucasian Americans, they inherited wealth from their ancestors, right? And back in the days, yes, Caucasians, they exploited labor from African Americans. It's kind of like theft, stealing. So yes, back in the days in America, okay, white people stole from African Americans because they underpaid them. All right. So what should we do now? Should white people just give all their money back to African Americans? Uh, some people try that, right? And it is understandable argument because white people stole from black people in America back in the days, right? So black people inherited poverty, white people inherited wealth from their respective ancestors. So how about white people give back the money they stole back to black people? Yeah, it's understandable argument. Okay, I get it, right? Um, but it's kind of simplification because not every white Caucasian Americans used to be slave owners, right? Even some Caucasian American presidents, okay, like Thomas Jefferson and whatnot, okay, uh, they used to be, they were slave owners, okay. But not every white person, back in the days, even back in the days, owned slaves. How about Thomas Edison? Okay. How about Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln was very poor man. His parents were very poor. Abraham Lincoln, that's why he's one of my favorite presidents. Maybe the favorite president of America. Why? Because he's self-made man. Truly. He was born poor, but he was an avid learner and reader. He loved learning. So he became a lawyer, local politician. Later on, he became the president of the United States. He was born poor. He didn't own any slaves. No, he freed slaves. That's Abraham Lincoln, okay? Yeah. He's a white guy. And he freed slaves. He loved African Americans. That's what this white guy, Abraham Lincoln. Okay. So his portrait is in this 1 cent, 1 penny, right? Kind of copper, kind of dark skinned, right? I guess it kind of befits the occasion, right? Yeah, because he loved African Americans, dark skinned. So he's a white guy, but he's in this copper, very dark coin, right? Very humble, right? Yeah. His humble origin, his love for poor people, right? Yeah. So, and he was Republican, okay? He was not Democrat, okay? So that this Republican president uh, emancipated African Americans, okay? It cost a lot of white people's lives, the Civil War, okay? So, not every rich Caucasian Americans have ancestors who are slave owners. Okay, so you cannot quite categorize like, binary fashion, black or white, black and white people, all of them stole from black people. It's not that simple. Okay, because not every Caucasian ancestors, white American ancestors, were slave owners. Some of them, probably more than half of them, or about half of them, they never owned slaves. They were just hardworking people. You're talking about Caucasian American ancestry, okay? Yeah, I mean, yeah. The other half, I guess, they own slave and labor exploitation from African Americans, but not every Caucasian white American owned slaves. Uh, at least a half of them, they were just hardworking people. Okay? Of course, they were not slaves. Okay, so they had right to own personal property. Yeah, so there's some unfairness from the get-go, from the beginning in American history, right? So yeah, African Americans, they started from a very disadvantaged position. It's a historical fact, right? So yeah, U.S. Supreme Court, they decided that this college entrance admission policy, affirmative action, right? They give extra credits to African Americans. Okay, so I think it was very sound U.S. Supreme Court decision. It is racially discriminatory because they are discriminating against non-blacks. Okay, even today, yeah, Harvard Law School, okay, they give extra credit to Native Americans and African Americans, but not to Caucasians, not to Asians. It's racial discrimination. It does violate 14th Amendment in U.S. Constitution, but because of this disadvantaged beginning of African Americans, That's what U.S. Supreme Court decided. All right. What year? 1970s, 1960s, 1980s, something like that. Okay. Yeah, this affirmative action to give extra credits in this college entrance exams, college admission to give extra credits to African Americans and Native Americans. I think it's a sound policy because that's the least we can do, right? To compensate for this disadvantaged beginning, inheritance of poverty, right? African Americans ancestors, yeah, they were exploited, they were stolen, they didn't get paid fairly by Caucasian Americans. And some people call it slavery, right? Yeah. So it's unequal pay, it's unfair pay, okay? So labor exploitation, all right? So that's the origin of income inequality between blacks and whites. Okay. All right. We'll take 5 minutes break because there's some more stories to it. All right. We'll stop and restart, okay? Because I don't want to lose this footage. All right. Okay. I'll see you in 10 minutes, okay?